Alright, today we are doing part 3 of the Grave Ninja 650 project. Let's start on the rear suspension. Yeah, I thought that this was going to be a good place to mount the plastic shell to the metal frame, but unfortunately all this plastic has to go. The suspension is going to be right here, the seat has to go on the other side, so we need to cut out all this plastic. Alright, let's see if this works any better. Ah! Dang it! That doesn't work. Let's try that again. So I'm looking at the rear axle, and the reason I put it so far back is because I don't want to be sitting directly over the rear axle. You're going to be sitting over here. I wanted the axle to at least be right here, just because I want as much weight on the front as possible, so therefore hopefully keep the front end on the ground. Now that I'm looking at it, it looks a little goofy, and I was thinking about moving it back and making it to where the tires line up with the wheel wells a little bit more, but I'm realizing that I want to focus more on performance instead of authenticity, or making this thing look original. I want to make it to where it looks original, yes, but I want to focus on performance. I want to make it to where it works really well. Now what that means is I don't want to have this have a narrow wheelbase, very, close together tires, to where this tips over easily. So I'm not entirely sure where the tires are going to be, how far they're going to be from this, just because the wider it is, the more stable it's going to be, the more drivable it's going to be, but the more weird it's going to look. So it's the fine line between performance and authenticity, or looks, or whatever you want to call it. So still trying to figure out how to make this look cool, while also performing really well. So I think as far as this dimension with where the axle is, I'm going to leave it. As far as the tires, this dimension, I'm not entirely sure on how that's going to work yet. I still need to figure out how to do the front suspension, and then that will determine how far the wheels are from here. So I think now let's focus on installing the shocks. Alright, we got the rear suspension all mocked up and assembled. Now, this is obviously 4-link, in case you guys didn't know. I'm kind of thinking about doing the front suspension the same. I'm not sure if you can do 4-link for the front. I'm not sure if that's going to make it drive different. Maybe the steering is going to be a little bit different if you use 4-link. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't looked that up yet. But it may be the easiest way to do it just because the engine's going to go in the front. I'm not sure how much room we're going to have up there to do. I wanted to do the typical A-arm style, but I wouldn't have that much it wouldn't have that much travel. The shocks are going to be a little complicated to put in there just because the engine's kind of big, and what we're building this thing in is pretty small. So 4-link may have to go for the front. We may get the most travel out of that style. Or if there's any other type of suspension style that I could do that I can't think of yet, let me know in the comments below, and I'll consider that and see if that's going to work a little bit better than 4-link. So as far as this, works great. I'm trying to get as much travel out of this as possible, while not making it too stiff and not making it too soft. I put these shocks in this location. I'm thinking that this is going to be a good spot. Not entirely sure. I'm not really sure if it's going to work, just because now that it's there, I can easily push the suspension down with not that much effort. So I may have to move this mount back a little bit. We're going to lose a little bit of travel if we do that, but we will gain the suspension being a little bit stiffer. So I can also tighten the suspension shock by just turning this. This is one of those adjustable shocks from Go Power Sport, so I can always adjust it and see if that makes a difference. So we're going to be playing around with that in the next video, hopefully installing the front engine and possibly the seat, and then working on motor mounts, figuring out how to attach the motor. So anyway, I gotta end this video here. I'd like to thank Go Power Sports for sending us the parts we've used for this project. I'll be leaving links for everything in the description below. Go check that out. I gotta end this video here. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see ya in the next video.